everybody to starCHasers Central, a podcast about Charles Hamilton music moments and everything in between. I'm Stik Braxton.
Y'all know who the fuck I am. My name is Mike D. Jackson.
Yeah, okay. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How you feeling, man?
I'm okay, man. It's been a long last few days for me, but I'm on the other side of it. I feel like so I'm okay.
That's what's most important. I know my last week wasn't the greatest, but it's more just because of the snow,
Mm.
and I don't understand it. I guess I do. You know, when we were kids, oh man, snow's great. I think when I turned like 17 and had to realize, oh, I gotta drive in this shit for the rest of
Mm.
my life now. Never been a fan since. So fuck the snow. Even if it's not snowing now when this gets posted, fuck the snow. So
Yeah. Snow became a hindrance when you realize like it really doesn't get you out of work all the time. Like in school, it was like, oh, a dust in the snow, you out of school, whatever, or 2 hour delay at the most. Now it's just like, yeah, nah, just get in here. Come to work. I'm like, oh, then this is pointless. This is dumb.
yeah, especially my job where it literally has to be not even state of emergency part one, like state of emergency 2 to 3, where literally like everybody's closed. Otherwise, they're like, you guys could still make it. It's like, no, we can't. I think one time, I think it was like 2 years ago or something like that. I couldn't leave my house. Literally, I think it was like 70 people. 70 people at my job couldn't make it. And everybody was about to get written up for it, but they're like, you know what? That's a lot of people. We can't write up 70 people. Okay, everybody's not getting written up. Fine. I guess we'll whatever. It's like, all right, okay.
The fact that that's the reason, not because like, because that's dumb. It's like, oh yeah, you all getting rid of, but like, fam, that's what we can't make it.
No, we cannot make it. And I got like a small car. So it's one of those things where like I tried to, and I'm like, they didn't come to my house, like the plows and whatnot. They didn't come to my house till like 6 p.m. So it's like I wasn't going anywhere. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely snow's bad. Snow is not good. Really quick shameless plug. Last week was also the first year anniversary of this, which is I don't know if you can see it. It's my last book, which was Easy Come Easy Go. It's a ode to Cowboy Bebop, a bunch of rhymes in there. A rapper once said that I don't write rhymes, I write checks. But he writes checks for bad things. And I actually just write rhymes. So yeah, go get that. If you ever like Cowboy Bebop, if you like poetry and stuff like that, or raps and rhymes, go get that, man. It's on Amazon. So
Yes, sir. Check it out. Raps, rhymes, Cowboy Bebop. No Diddy shit. No Diddy
yeah,
shit
no,
at all.
no. Far from that. I'm a good boy, not a bad boy. Um, but we are here, man. I mentioned it. I don't know if I mentioned it on an episode, but I did mention it to you. Um, Probably early this month. I wanted to kind of have like a schedule or like a type of. It's a loose schedule, but like every month I want to kind of do like a theme or like a special, like every episode, at least one of them, right? You were gracious enough to be able to provide us with our first one, which was a winter special today. So we're kind of reviewing a winter quote unquote tape, and we're actually doing two. It's the Winter Rush series, man. Winter Rush 1 and Winter Rush 2. What is the full title of the second one?
Let me check while you're looking that up because I was just going to call it Winter Rush 2,
I was
Electric
too,
Boogaloo.
but I
No,
kept
it's not. It's not
Electric.
Electric Boogaloo. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Anytime you say something too, you have to say Electric Boogaloo. It's you have to do it.
I got you. Sorry. Winter Rush 2, the London Underground.
That's right. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So what do you have on these tapes? Anything? Any notes?
Uh, a few notes. So Winter Rush 1, apparently it was recorded in 2013, but when you look it up on YouTube, everything's from 2015. So it's one of those tapes where I'm starting to realize a lot of Charles tapes, they were recorded at a certain point, but for whatever reason, just didn't come out within that year. So guess it came out in 2015. Charles probably felt like, okay, you guys might be more suited to listen to it now at
Mm,
this point in time. But still, I feel like it sounds within that realm. Like it's not like too far removed from 2013 to 2015. So
mhm.
still within his sound of that time. And then with Winter Rush 2, the London Underground, I feel like that one, I'm not sure if that one was recorded within that same time period too or not. I want to say a little bit, maybe a little bit after, maybe like 2014, 2015. It
Mhm,
was posted in 2019, but it definitely sounds like within the time period of Charles being signed to Turn First slash Republic, or a little bit after, but somewhere within that time period.
mhm. Here's the thing. Do you remember listening to either of these tapes?
I know I didn't listen to Winter Rush 2. Winter Rush 1, apparently I did listen to. I'm not sure when it got listened to, but you know, when you go on YouTube and then like you actually look at a playlist or something like that, you'll see the video and it'll have that red bar that's all the way at the end.
Mhm,
And I was like, so I did listen to this at some point. I'm like, I just can't remember. And with me, you know, the question you normally ask, okay, how do you feel about this tape? You know, when you first listen to it, the
mhm,
thing is this, at least with the first one, I could say I definitely heard it. And I don't want to say, oh, it's a bad thing. It's just maybe at that time it wasn't memorable. But
mhm.
at the same time, give me some props because Charles comes out with so much music. It's like, okay, well, there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that. So I'll say I must have liked it at least, but it's just not as memorable as I thought. At the same time, it was 2015. We're in 2024 now, so 9 years ago. Hey man, I don't know what to tell you. Do you remember anything from the tapes though?
I remember one song, and that's the crazy part, is I looked at when I was looking at the track list, I was like, "Oh, snap, look what it is." And I got excited, I was like, "Oh, this is, like, a really good song." I forgot about it. I couldn't remember where it was as far as on projects, but I remember liking the song. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, playlist that." And then we decided we gonna do the tape. I was like, "I don't remember any of this for some reason," and it was so weird. So this was a great listen for me because again, it's relatively new, both tapes, honestly. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, and also a reason why we had created this podcast because not only for the other Star Chasers to listen to projects they haven't heard or recover, it's for us too. Because apparently we're listening to stuff and then not remembering where it's coming from.
Well, let's do what we normally do. What are your best three tracks or your favorite tracks from the first Winter Rush, man?
All right. Best three tracks. Now, for you guys to know, Winter Rush 1. This is going to be a tongue twister. Damn.
Yeah,
Winter
yeah.
Rush 1. All right. With the first tape, there's about 9 songs on there
Mhm.
compared to the second tape, which has a bunch more. So with the first tape, I'll say one of my first favorite songs is the first one,
Okay.
Ain't Got a Chance. With Ain't Got a Chance, when I hear the song, soon as it comes in, it has like this fun, funky disco type of beat,
Mhm.
and we all know how Charles feels about funk and disco type esque beats. You know, it has like a fun vibe to it. It's like a good vibe to it. Like I think about just like some type of commercial, you know, some type of commercial or something you hear in the supermarket.
Mhm.
I think what's it called? Drake got called up for that recently because
Oh yeah, most
Most
def,
Def
yeah.
Yasin Bey was like, oh man, he has that supermarket music. This in a good way. I feel like I'd be like have like a little bounce to it. Oh man, I gotta get some cauliflower. Where's cauliflower at? No, but really fun
Pulling
beat.
out cauliflower out of the thin air is crazy. Like Like, you could have picked anything else. You could have picked cereal. You could have picked anything. You went with cauliflower, bro.
Listen, go on after this. Go on YouTube, type up cauliflower type beat. See what pops up. I bet you something like this is gonna pop up. Probably not. I'm lying out my ass, but no, it's a fire beat. I like the song, and cauliflower is good for you, man. Stop
It is.
hating
It's
on
very delicious.
cauliflower.
It's delicious. Yeah.
I know it's not white broccoli, but you know,
Yeah. You know who it is, boy. White broccoli.
hey yeah. So ain't got a chance. Really good song, fun dancey song. I like it.
Crawling up the sky and falling to the sun. They keep crawling up the sky and falling to the sun, but they ain't got a chance. They ain't got a chance. They keep crawling up the sky and falling to the sun.
Next, I would say not a surf.
Yeah.
I know how you feel about we talked about on a previous episode of
That hasn't come out
certain
yet.
samples,
Yeah.
certain samples or whatever. But I feel like with this one, even if you didn't like it, I feel like it's a great flip that he did. Great flip, great beat choice, great verses, and we all know that a lot of these songs Charles is freestyling or whatever. This is one of those songs I feel like he does a great job of freestyling the whole way through and just keeping a flow, keeping a cadence, and just like he bodies the track. Um, and he's talking about not enough. And one of the things I like in the last verse, he says, sometimes it's not enough to just make the beat and rap on it. Sometimes it's not enough to be on your own dick, as he says.
Mhm.
Like, and I can relate to that so much because when you're great at your job or whatever you're doing, sometimes it's still not enough. You still have to do more and put more effort and more effort. Kind of like a Mamba mentality type of thing. Like you have
Yeah.
to do more and more and more. But great song. Last song I'll say, you know what? This third song, I'll leave for you. Technically, it'd be the same thing, but I'm not going to pick it.
Mhm.
Um, I'll choose another one. Cows in Russia.
Okay. Yeah.
Cows in Russia. I really like that. That has like it sounds like a 80s type of dance club vibe type of sample beat, you know? Uh, really hype song. I like the hook. Now you see me, now you don't. Now
Mhm.
you see me, now you don't. John Cena could have he could relate to that. So
The
I really
remix has him on there.
like it's a really good song. I vibe with that song. I would say those are my top three. I'm really trying to not pick something that you would pick as well, because the one song that is on here, um, that's definitely one of my favorites, period. But I'll leave that for you to talk about.
Yeah, we both had that same one. I feel like that's we probably agree is probably the best song on the tape. Okay.
Yes.
But we'll get to that in due time. So here's what I think about this tape overall, just like kind of to get into my picks. First of all, I like every song in a way, right? So I think like if it's like on a 10-point scale of each song is at minimum of 5, right?
Yeah.
I think I think the first 2 songs, I know you say you like Ain't Got a Chance. I do like the song. I think it's like a slow build because like it comes the way the song comes on, it's like you're right, it just comes on like real fun. I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting to groove like right away, right? Like I wasn't usually that's like a second or third song on a Charles tape, typically. Um typically, not always, but typically. So I was like, okay, this is kind of jarring to just start off with the groove and then you get the switch with As If, which is kind of a not a darker take, but like a slowed down version. So it's like you've already gone to 2 different extremes. But once it gets to Cows in Russia, I feel like that's when the tape really takes off. It's like you know how like the triple jump happens, and it's the first 2 steps is like, all right, yeah, I get it. But that third
Yeah.
one, you taking off. Like you're launching.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so to start off, oh, let's just agree. Not a surf is great. I think that's maybe mm,
Go
it's
ahead.
in my top. It's in my top 3. It's probably
Hey.
3rd. It's in my 3rd.
Yeah.
But it's such a I know we had talked about it previously, and it was just hip hop's obsession with using uh they were using quote unquote either Middle Eastern type of sounds is
Right.
what we're gonna say. Um and sometimes it felt forced, but this one was perfect because he also kind of like talks to the fact that the beats that's happening in the background of the beat, and I like that. It's like he's connecting the verse with the beat itself, and I really like the way he did that, and he attacked all 3 verses amazing. And yeah, not enough, man. The name is crazy. Okay,
Oh, I know.
the name is crazy.
I put that in my notes. I said it's a
The
crazy name.
name is nuts.
We need to, Charles. We need to know why.
Right.
Why the
I
name?
definitely need explanation for this. But White Emmett Till is fire.
My glory day is never waiting, it's forever impatient. I was the black victim of segregation in a black school. Mad rules and mad cats who didn't follow them, acting like goblins. I acknowledge them as gods then, but they ain't watching me now, cause they either 6 feet deeper, banging on the ground, stomping as loud as they can so they can get their CO. Now that's a boost to my ego.
It's such a fire song, dog. Oh my god. That beat, the verse, the hook, everything about this song is amazing. Except for the name. I need an explanation. That way I'm just gonna call it wet from now on. Just just wet. Pause. But like
All right. I'm not. I'm not going to call it that. I will. I refuse.
right, okay. But
I'll,
it's a it's
I'll call it Emmett Till. We can just call it Emmett Till.
yeah, yeah. It's a dope record though. I really like this song. Um it's a great outro. Like when I think of outros, this might be one of my favorite ever.
Okay.
Which I'm, like for a tape that I wasn't anticipating. I got not low expectations, but like I didn't know where to set my expectations with this tape. Um, so to come away with like one of my favorite outros, that's nuts. Actually, that's actually bananas. Um, but of course, our the best song, our favorite song one here is "Paranoid Schizophrenia."
Period.
Like there's not a bad thing you can say about this song.
Nope.
Like I don't even know how to really talk about the song because there's nothing to critique, right? And there is a point that we can bring up. So Charles was on a live recently, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of touched on it on our last episode, on the episode on Hypergolf, and it was about how people it's okay to like a certain era. Like if you like, oh, I like the '08 to 2000 or the Interscope era, Paul, if you want to call it that or whatever, right? Or I like the 20 Hamilton era, right? All those things are fine. That's perfectly fine. But when you go to him and like you're in his live or you're chatting with him, and one of the first things you say to him is, "Yo, you should go back to doing that." It's like, bro, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? I get it. I understand. There's a difference in if you're a listener and you had something in your mind that you're like, oh, I like the way he sounds like this. I get that. I totally understand that. But you can't go to somebody and be like, hey, the stuff you're putting out now, that's cool, but go back to doing this. You know? You're an artist. Like we're artists. Like, how do you feel about that? I know you we've talked about it before, but like,
Yeah.
just kind of expound on that.
So reminder, guys. So especially with me and Stik, we've been listening to Charles since 2008, 2009. So it's been 15 years, plus counting. And it just sounds wild for you to say that to somebody, regardless of how big they've gotten in the game or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a perfect example. One of the things that I used to do, I want to say between 2010, 2012 and whatnot, when you could do it, you could rap on anyone's beat. I do like freestyle, free verses, whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
One that got really popular from me and my friends was me doing the Rack City remix, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
what Tiger says on there, Mike Jackson, nigga, yeah, I'm bad. So like I put that in there, and people are like, oh snap, because you said your name in the yeah, you get it.
Right.
So here's the crazy part, right? So after that, let's say 2015, 2017, 2019, 2022, some people say, yo, remember that Rap City remix you did? Mike Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, in like 2012 when the
Mm-hmm.
song came out, bro. Like I
Mm-hmm.
came out with like a lot more songs after that. Because
Mm-hmm.
literally that's you telling me, at least from my standpoint, okay, you have literally not clicked on anything else and listened to it. Because you can't tell me that, especially with me, I haven't done a dramatic change in sound like Charles has. But it's like you have literally not gone on my YouTube or SoundCloud and clicked on anything else and listened to it. Because you can't tell me that's the only good song I made since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So with Charles, I get there's certain sounds, there's certain ways that he's produced, certain ways he's recorded, you might not like. But regardless, it's been like 15 years. It's been 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Come on, y'all. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. But and also, some of y'all are repeat offenders of this. You've been doing this since 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but get over it, man. Get over it. Damn.
Yeah, and it's just like it's not an effort thing, right? Like I know one of the comments was talking about like his effort or whatever it may, and it's like you can't tell somebody that it's effort. It's just it's a different sound, it's a different style. You can't expect an artist to maintain the same style for years because or the same whatever for years, right? Because like if we're looking at somebody like Eminem, right? Eminem hit a plateau, right, where he was like we'll say first four albums, four or five albums,
Yeah.
dramatically good music, right? Then he gets what is it, relapse, then recovery, relapse first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, relapse then recovery, and it feels like ever since then he's maintained a very similar style, and I don't know if people like that or not, but it's like there has to be some type of variety, right? There has to be some type of advancement, some growth, some yeah, just some diversity in like your music, right?
Yeah, and the problem is too, especially with someone like Eminem, right? So I remember people, it wasn't even about like a growth or diversity that they wanted in the music. They wanted him to go back to what he sounded like. And it was more of, hey, go back to rapping about drugs and the violent and all the, I won't say the extra stuff, but if y'all heard
Yeah.
Eminem's music
Go
in
back to talk about your
2000,
mom again. Like, yo,
yeah,
no. Like,
yeah, go talk about your wife or ex-wife about how you put her in the trunk and then blah 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 blah. It's like, really? That's all y'all like? That's literally all y'all like. So in a situation like that, it reminds me of that. Something that happened this weekend. I don't know what it was, but I was on a old school like Drake kick, like uh, and I'm talking about not the first album. I'm talking about Room for Improvement,
comeback
Comeback
season, stuff like
Season,
that. Yep.
yeah, stuff like that. And I was listening to it. I'm like, oh man. At the same time, though, Drake was like 18, 19, maybe 20. I mean, it's 36 now. You're expecting him to still rap like how he used to, because a lot of people talk about his style. He used to copy off of Pusha T and Little Brother. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Bro, he's not going to rap like that anymore. Like he's not at a point of his life where he's a teenager. So he has no reason to rap about, oh yeah, I'm trying to be the prince of the rap game. He's not the prince of the rap game anymore. He's a lot larger figure in hip hop now. So he's not going to be rapping like how he used to. Like that's just something we all gotta accept and get over. If you can't, okay, just go back and listen to the old music and stay in 2006, stay in 2008. You can stay comfortably in that era without going back into 2024.
Yeah, man. But trying to connect it to the paranoid schizophrenia is the other part of that live was just that Charles made to mention that a lot of the songs that we like hurt him the most, right? Or like it hurt him to record the most and stuff like that, or vice versa. The songs that y'all might not like, I might have put the most, energy or like effort or whatever how you want to say into those, right? And when he says stuff like that, it doesn't make me feel I feel conflicted, right? Because I like paranoid schizophrenia, but like the name of the song and then like, just his overall, his past and stuff and just the stuff he's saying in the song, it makes you feel conflicted. Like, I really like this song, but not should I, but like it makes you think about what he was going through as he recorded the song. Because again, I feel like the best songs are based off people's like heartbreak or pain. Like that's because you can feel the emotion in the song. And it doubly works better when you have similar thoughts. So like, in the song he goes,
It's all in my mind. Walk around the streets feeling like people hating me. It was all in my mind. Feeling like a beast so ugly, no bitches dating me. It was all in my mind. Think about what you gotta say to me. It was all in my mind. Maybe I should just not believe and make me.
I feel like everybody's at least felt that at least once. Like you walk in a
Definitely.
room, you're like, oh, everyone here just does not like me, right? Or
Right.
somebody saying something about me. So like you can connect with that type of lyric or that type of vibe or whatever. But it's like his version of it might be something totally different or something way worse than what we're thinking. So it's kind of conflicted when I really like start singing and rapping all the lyrics, but I'm like, ugh, I wonder what he was going through at the time, you know?
I try not to. We talked about it before with
Mhm.
the Pink Lava Lamp. Same thing. There's songs on there that really hurt him to make, but that was him getting his emotions out, and that's what I connect to the most. That's probably why I like Charles as an artist the most because of those emotions. Because
Mhm.
I could relate to it. I felt a certain way, similar, and that's why I like it so much. Like I said, it's a deep song. The hook's catchy and whatnot, and who can't relate to it, like if you can't relate to it, it may be good for you technically, because at the same time, if you're not going through like pain, drama, stress, whatever, ooh, that's actually a good thing, but for the rest of us, living in the real world, it's like, hey man, that's why it connects with me the most. It's not like I like it because I like to see him in pain or I like to see
Mhm.
him be upset. It's like, no, because I felt the same way a time or two. That's how I felt.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, great song. Damn near flawless song, honestly. Like that beat's crazy. Like I said, the verses are great, hooks amazing. Yeah, I can't say enough about that song, honestly. So, is there a song here? Like I said, it's a 9 tape song, which those are dangerous because, like, if you start getting too many misses, then it's like, it kind of it messes with the overall rating or the overall value of the tape.
Yeah.
But I think he does a great job on his tape. But if you had to maybe remove one, not saying that you would, but if you had to, which one would you probably pull off?
If I had to, if I had to talk about one, critique wise, I would say as if. So the song's just okay. I'm cool with it. One of the things I noticed, because when I first listened to this tape, I had the earbuds in and whatnot. And I was at work, I think. And it's one thing that I noticed just, recording my own music and whatnot, not being in a big studio. So if you guys don't know, when you're recording music, even if you're recording like just audio for like a podcast, anything like that,
Mhm.
there's certain sounds that come up that you need to pay attention to. The S's, the p, the k, the sh, because those will stick out more. And, there's certain apps and whatnot that have de-essers and whatnot that lower that sound. But it was with the beat itself, not really Charles actually like recording with the beat. There's this one part where like the beat is like going like it's on the S sound. It's like that, whatever. In my earbuds, I'm like, man, this is harsh. Like I like the beat, but it's just like I don't know what's up with that.
Mhm.
The next time I listened to it, I was in the car. I didn't hear it as much, so it's cool in the car. I didn't wasn't a big deal in the car, but that's the one critique I can have, at least with that song, where I'm like, verses were cool, everything was all right. It's just like with that sample, all I'll tell people is like, hey, if you are making music or anything like that, just be careful because if you're sampling certain things or whatever, if you have a clipping sound or anything like that, that could be like a hindrance. You might want to just check that out. Just make sure you know what you're doing. And then this is not a song I want to remove or anything like that. But one thing I noticed, Hotel Arizona, I really like that song. I like the song, like the sample. The only thing I didn't like I said, on the hook, there's some parts where I guess it sound like a little filter was on there. We
Mhm.
talked about it on one of the previous projects. Sound like there's like a certain filter on there where I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm like, that would have made that song like without it and on certain parts 10 times better. That probably would have cracked my top three. But because it wasn't, I'm like, I got a little bit lower on the list. But I don't want to remove that song. Technically, I wouldn't really remove As If either. But like I said, that was more of my critique about that. What about you?
Yeah, As If was my choice too. Whereas I do like the groovy nature of Ain't Got a Chance. Again, As If isn't a bad song. It's just out of these 9, I would say it ranks the lowest of the list for me. Um, your point about Hotel Arizona is spot on. Um, we always talk about how, like, if he has, like, a kind of a rockish type of thing, the sometimes the levels aren't as what's called this one wasn't even that bad, but I do understand what you're saying as far as, like, it sounded like there was a filter on there, almost like he was, like, kind of it felt like a live performance kinda over a instrumental, right? In
Yeah.
a sense, the hook part, maybe not necessarily the verses, but definitely the hook or whatever. Um, and I think I had Hotel Arizona probably 4th. Yeah, it was, like, right outside my top 3 for me. Um, yeah, but again, I wouldn't remove anything 'cause I think this tape is fine just the way it is, but if I had to, As If would probably be the choice for me as well to win a Rush 2, man. Same question, same question. What do you have for your favorite 3 here?
All right. Favorite three here. Um, so I'll start with in the mix with Shoom.
Raising crazy because in this situation I ain't got the patience. How I love you, you might not understand. Why I love you, you might not understand. But girl, I love you, please just understand. Since we separated, I've been separated.
Mm,
That would be one of my favorites. I'm assuming he's talking about Christina. I
mhm,
think that was her last name, or that's actually not, that's her nickname. But shout out to her, I guess. Um, really like that song. He has it's a Avant sample, separated.
mhm,
So anytime you can flip a song like that, and how he flipped it is just like, man. Also, it's kind of weird that we listened to this tape this past weekend because on TikTok and then two other places, separated kept coming on, like the regular song kept coming on,
mhm,
and someone made a good point when I used to listen to the song as a kid. I was like, oh, this is a really great song. It's not a love song at all. That is not a love song. That is, he's kind of glad they're being separated because my man said, if I never see you again, I won't be mad at all. I will not be mad at all. I will say this though. So Charles's approach to it is, when you are separated with someone, it was more like I won't say a bad breakup. It sounded like it's probably best if we do break up, but we had such a great time together and whatnot. Felt more like that. So
Yeah.
it felt a lot better compared to Avant in his situation. So hey man, shout out to Avant.
Shout out
um,
to a part.
shout out to Avant, man. So
Yeah, man. Yeah.
hey man, gotta give people their flowers. So another song I do like. So going from one relationship to another, losing friends already. So this one's crazy because number one, the beat's fire.
Mhm.
Beat's crazy. It had like a Dr. Dre sound to it. Like if I didn't know Charles sampled anything from it, I would have assumed, okay, this might be like a Dr. Dre type of beat, something like that. Crazy concept and flow. And the whole song, he's talking about your bitch is my bitch because my bitch is your chick. And I'm like, man, then the whole time he's talking about, yeah, and then he's freestyling this the whole time. And I'm like, man, because your bitch is my bitch at the same time, but I got my chick over here, which is not your bitch, but that's my bitch, but your bitch is still my bitch. And I'm like, what? Yo, what? I kind of felt disrespected. I felt like he's talking to me like, yo, first of all,
He's
first of
talking to
all,
me.
first of all, I don't even got a bitch. But here, actually, let me put y'all on some game, right? I gotta say this. Anytime anytime one of my friends, I'll talk shit to him. Not to anyone that actually has a girlfriend or a wife or whatever. I'm like, yo, but your girl likes it. They're like, I don't have a girl. And then I always retort with, you did until she met me.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But literally, so but it's a fire song. Crazy song, wild disrespectful, but fire song. I can't hate on it. So definitely one of my favorites from the tape. And then Eden's Crush would be my third.
Okay.
Uh the reason why I'm saying Eden's Crush has like an ED dancey type of vibe to it, whatever, just really dancey and whatnot. Good flow, good lyrics. Charles mentioned the song I've Had Enough of the Cold. Fucking latable. This is the best time for me to listen to this tape because I was like, bro, I'm tired of seeing this damn snow. I'm tired of being in the cold. When I go outside, when it's cold outside, I have a hoodie on and then I put on my big jacket. I'm ready for summer already. Let me say spring. Let me say spring first. I'm ready for spring. But very relatable song, especially for right now. Good song though, overall. But I'm like, this is very relatable. I'm tired of this cold. Tired of seeing it, tired of feeling it. I had enough of it. Done with it. But those are my top three. What about you, Stik?
Before we get into that, rank the seasons.
Rank the seasons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, winter's last. Winter's last. Winter is last.
Right.
Spring, summer, fall, winter.
Okay. So initially, I also had summer second. As I get older, I'm like, yo, dog, it's too hot, bro. Like global warming is kicking our ass, and I'm like, oh, this is what they were warning about. Got it. Got it. My bad. Now I feel bad about all that spraying shit I was doing. Anyway, I have fall second now. I know that's typically not our season. I know that's typically girls who wear UGG boots, North Face jackets, have blonde hair, go to candles, get Panera. You know what they look like. Anywho,
Yeah.
I know that's typically their holiday of their season, but I'm about to take it. I'm about to take it from them, bro, because it's like the perfect weather, bro. It's not like super like it doesn't get super hot, but it also doesn't get super cold. It's like the perfect temperature. Spring is great. Spring is my favorite just because that's, April. You know how the Aries gang does.
Yeah.
But it can get one too hot now the global warming has taken over, and two, it rains a lot. And so those two things kind of can be a hindrance. But with fall, it's just usually just wind, like small breeze, but like cool weather. So you can go out and do stuff and not have to wear a jacket. So yeah,
I feel you on that. The only reason for me why I have summer over winter, just because not winter, sorry. Well, yeah, summer is over
everything's
winter.
over winter.
Yeah,
Everything's over.
everything over winter. No, summer over fall. I don't mind, like, for example, like, you don't have to wear any big jacket. You can wear like a nice long sleeve, a little flannel, probably.
Mhm.
You know, you might not. Just depends on where you're at in fall. Beginning of the fall, you might not.
Yeah.
Um, I'll say for summer, only reason why, just because I know everyone's different. But when I get to like spring, when it's like spring warm outside,
Mhm.
where you don't have to wear pants again, I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing
Yeah.
shorts like spring through summer. I'm wearing shorts the whole time around, unless it like rains and super cold or something. Then
Yeah.
I'll wear sweatpants or something. But I'm wearing shorts the whole time around. Literally, that's why. And just because I've been on this kick recently of, us being older, we used to wear triple XL baggy stuff, whatever. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I can actually wear like shorts regularly my size or whatever. And
Mhm.
then uh love my brother to death. He got on my case because when I started wearing just like the regular shorts, like above the knees and whatnot, he was like, yo, what are you doing? Like guys aren't supposed to wear that. And my brother was still in like 2006. Like I'm
Sure.
like I get it, like you don't wear stuff like that, but like it's not weird, it's not gay. He's like, oh well, yeah, it is. I'm like, bro, I promise you, it's not. Like most men now, because I had to tell him, I'm like, bro, you can't go to a store and buy shorts way past the knee anymore. The longest you're going to get is at knee, and then you're going to have to sag them. He's like,
Yeah.
well, he's like, I don't have to do that. I'm like, yeah, you don't have to do that because you haven't bought clothes since like 2012, bro. Because you just don't you don't buy new clothes. My brother was like no hating on him. He was like 5'6". He was like a shorter guy. So he literally like grew and then that's it. He
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about buying clothes anymore. So I'm like, good for you, bro. But guess what? I like to wear these shorts and the ladies love the legs. They try to rub on my legs. So stop hating on me, bro. You're married. I'm not. I'm trying to get some women to rub on my legs. You feel me? Sorry. I had to talk about it. But but long story short, I fuck with the shorts and then fall's pretty great. Fall's great. It's cool.
Uh, my 3, I have Blood on the Sephora. I really like that. I really like that song. Um, yeah, again, on one of those songs titles where I'm like, "Okay, where are you taking me with this?" But, it's just a good record. Speaking of which, I really quick, now that I think about it, we had said that this might be during the Turn First era. I think it might be right because London Underground now makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's where, you know what I'm saying? That kinda makes sense now.
And like I told you before, when Charles at the time was talking about, yeah, I was out in London, I was doing this and that. And I'm like, no, you weren't. Stop lying. And then
Right.
it turns out turn first happened. And I'm like, oh, so he was in London, for real. Like, so that's the only reason why I'm thinking that. But at the same time, uh, there's not many notes on this project.
Mhm.
So, Charles, if you are watching this episode, let us know, around the time this was recorded and also why it was called London Underground. I'm assuming because it was around that time of Turn First and maybe right before you got signed to Republic, but who knows?
Yeah, possible. Which first was post prenup. Whenever he puts prenup in a title, it's usually pretty good. And this is no exception. I like the beat on here. I like the hooks on here. Um, Post prenup, you know who could have used that? Jeezy, and what's her name? What's her name? Jenny
Um,
Jenny May.
she's called lame as hell because how are you going to say, all right, Judge, I know I signed the prenup, but I didn't really read it. I didn't know what I was signing. So can we just throw that out? That's what her name is, lame as hell.
What if that works out though? What if he's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. It's like, but no, you
No,
gotta if you sign something, that's it, bro.
yeah, no, that better not, man. The world's getting flipped upside down, bro. Kanye has to make a new Gold Digger Part 2. Has to.
When will we get it? Never. In 2028, maybe. Uh People are so foolish believing any Kanye West release date. Stop believing him. Like, stop. Don't listen to his release date. Just be surprised one day that it's on there. That's all I can tell you because you just keep setting yourself up for failure and disappointment.
It's like the Loch Ness Monster and Sasquatch.
Yeah,
Not real.
nah, yeah, or like a good J Lo album. Bombs Away.
God,
Bombs,
excuse me.
Bombs Away is also a good song, and it's another flip of the Charlie Child Factory song. Well,
Pure
Blue.
imagination.
Yes. And you know how I've said before, like if there's if there's, 2 samples that he's done or a sample that he's done and there's multiple songs, I usually compare it to the other one. Um, this is kinda comparable. I still like Pure Imagination, from the original, but this is actually a really good record. I really like this one, and I like the chops on it too. The chops on it makes this record, like, it takes it up to another level for me.
I do like how he flipped it differently from Pure Imagination. So that's one of those things that's like really cool. Honestly, Charles inspired me to do that because I felt like with sampling songs, I'm like, okay, I sampled this once, now I'm gonna touch it again. And I've seen Charles flip samples like 3, 4 times. I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I could do that, you know? So one thing I do know on the song, he said he grind on her ass with a maxi pad. I could be getting the lyrics wrong, but I know he's talking about, you know, if he's dancing on a girl and whatnot, he'd be dancing on her. If she had a maxi pad, it doesn't matter, still be grinding on it, you know. Bombs away, I feel like at least in that verse, he's talking about, when you meet up with a chick and then you're trying to talk to her and try to get her into some peculiar positions,
Uh-huh.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Um, you see if she's willing to go along with it. If she is, hey man, you made it to the WrestleMania. Point at the sign. Congratulations. Other than that, I think the only thing I could say, bombs away. I think about like football. So when you're throwing a Hail Mary,
Mhm.
you're just doing a Hail Mary, wishing for the best. And if she's interested or whoever is like, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
what YOLO, what do you have to lose,
Yeah, yeah. Anything here that you would remove? 13 tracks, um, anything you remove? I know 2 of mine.
Okay. So the first one I'm iffy about, Vatican Wonders. I feel
Oh,
like
the
it's all
intro, okay.
okay. I feel like it's an all right song. Beats okay. The hook's like, It's one of those things where when I compare the first tape to the second one, first tape, I really like the intro. This intro, I'm like, it's
Mhm,
okay. So I'm like, I'm not really vibing with it compared to, let's say, Blood on the Sephora floor.
mhm,
I like that one a lot more. So it's one of those things where like, I'm really not vibing with the first song compared to the second one. So it's like I probably would choose that one. Um, if I'm going through maybe the anti-hero, it's a dope beat. I like the flow and whatnot, but like I don't know if it's another thing with a filter or something like that Charles put on it, but the lyrics sounded like a little muddle, like a little,
mhm,
something was done to it. And I know Charles has said this before, where sometimes when he's mixing songs, not every song, but sometimes like Windows Media Player, like one of the things he did on that song was he mixed it to sound like a bad wave file on purpose. He did that on purpose because it's an artistic thing. Because
mhm,
back then sounds weren't really that great, but that's the vision and whatnot. So I don't know if
mhm.
he's going for something kind of similar like that with the lyrics and the vocals being a little muddled and having a little filter on there, but I wasn't really a great fan of that. I did like the rest of the song though. Like I said, I like the hook, like the beat and whatnot. Um, anything else? Um, maybe Farewell Jimmy. That song's it's a cool song. My thing I've noticed recently in some of these projects we've heard, Charles has mentioned Jimmy Iovine a lot, So it's
Mhm,
one of those things where he's always had good things to say about Jimmy. So I'm assuming he just had like he really valued his friendship or his relationship, mentorship with Jimmy a
mhm,
lot. It's not a bad song. It's just one of the songs where I'm like, I've heard him do better songs where he's mentioning Jimmy and whatnot.
mhm,
One thing, not that I want to remove it, but we talk about questionable names. The last song on here, Ahmed Johnson Cardiac. Because with me, I'm like, I'm pretty sure Ahmed Johnson's still around and whatnot. I don't know if he had like a cardiac arrest or anything like that, but I think that's an interesting name. I just wanted to bring that up. One thing I did like though on the song, we talk about him freestyling songs. So within the first 4 bars, I'm assuming he had a cigarette in his hand, he was smoking it, and he dropped it because he mentioned something about it, like, oh, I dropped this and I gotta pick it up. And then there's like a bunch of space on like the fifth bar or something like that. And he comes back up and freestyles or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I can envision him doing that. I'm like, that's cool. Cause that's one of those things where we talked about, let's say when Charles has like a raspy voice or he needs to clear his throat or something like that. It's like he'll do that in the verse, and sometimes sonically it doesn't sound great. Something like this was okay.
Mhm.
Something like this was okay to do. I wouldn't do anything with that song though. I'm like, that song's cool, but interesting name though. But between the other three I said, the uh Anti-Hero, Vatican Wonders, and maybe Farewell Jimmy. Those are like the three I'm like, they're the ones I'm feeling the least.
Yeah, I'm at Jansen Cardiac is one of mine. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the beat or what. I didn't feel like a connection to it as I was listening to it. It's kind of like it's weird because like again, last Winter Rush had like one of my favorite outros, and this outro is just like if I compare it or just in general, I'm just like it's kind of a not a sour way to end the tape, but like it's like I would have ended it somewhere else, right? Similar to how you said, I probably would have opened up this tape with Blood on Sephora Floor because I think that's a great that would be a great intro. Um, I agree with Farewell Jimmy. I don't know if I like the way it was mixed. I think it just sounds kind of muddled to me. Maybe there was one of these songs where I was listening on my headphones and I was like, I can't hear anything. And I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, yo, I don't hear anything. And that really was disappointing. But I think I listened to it on either a speaker or just through my phone and it was fine. I could hear better, but I don't know. But yeah, Farewell Jimmy is also another one. Um, Dilla Stan, man.
I'm
It,
okay with Dillistan. The hook, I know part of the hook, that might be what you're talking about, but
I don't know. You know what's wrong? It comes out there in the mix with Shoom. I think that might be a problem.
okay.
Cause like I'm like again, that's like my favorite song on the track, and then you follow that up. I'm like, well, kind of like a quality as far as me, as far as like how much I like it, kind of dips like too far. So I'm like, if you go in the mix with Shoom next to Anti-Hero, I think it sounds maybe a little bit better. So maybe that's why I remove it just from a track listing standpoint.
Okay.
But yeah, other than
Because
that,
Yeah,
go ahead.
because for me, for Dilla Stan, I wrote on here, great beat, crazy flow. So like I said, I was rocking with the flow and I like the beat to it, you know what I mean? But I do know he was talking about wherever you go, I'll follow you. And like I'm not sure if that's to Dilla and whatnot, but
Mhm.
obviously we know how much he cares about Dilla and how much he tries to give Dilla his flowers and show him
Mhm.
love and whatnot. But we do know sometimes um Charles does go a little overboard because I know he said something else in the hook and whatnot. I can't really remember it right now, but I thought the song was okay. But I get it though. Like I said, just depending on how you hear the track, it's like it might not have hit me the same way. So
Yeah. Yeah, like that Blood on Sephora and the mix of Shroom back to back, like boom, heavy hitters to me. It's like the opposite of Winter Rush, where I was like Winter Rush kind of started off slow and then like hit that peak. I feel like this one hit its peak early, and then it's like it kind of is like a wavelength, like it kind of goes up and down throughout for the rest of the tape.
okay,
But yeah, I would say those ones. I do want to kind of go back to Winter Rush really quick before we give our ratings.
okay.
There's a track on here, Super Fast Jellyfish Part 2, which and it's crazy. Charles just talked about the first one, like it's in reference to somebody else. Somebody else has this song, and I'm trying to figure out who it is.
The
Oh my
first one,
god.
like who created the first one?
Yes.
I can't tell you who created the first one, but I remember the first one. I remember hearing the actual Super Fast Jellyfish one, and I'll say that was definitely like a banger for a lot of people at the time, especially in the OG Facebook group.
Yeah.
Everyone talked about that song. That's a good song.
Super Fast Jellyfish is actually, which is crazy. It's a song by the Gorillas, and it also features De La Soul.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
I
Shout
remember on the live he had mentioned it. He was talking to somebody and he had mentioned it, or were having a conversation about it. Either way, I think that song is that the song about his family, or is that the wrong one? Because there's a song on the first one where he's talking about being there are people like enemies, but like it's part of his family or whatever, and he doesn't want like he talked about how his uncle wanted to end them, but he didn't know. Can he wanted to be the end to him, but, like, he really didn't want to. Some of our closest enemies are people who are within our family or within our friend group or whatever.
Right.
And, he mentioned something about being his own cousin, and I know for longtime listeners, the one cousin that he's always brought up is Ryan, I believe.
Yeah.
And a
He's
lot
in
of
the Broken
songs, I
Girl
wonder
video.
if that's kinda in reference to him in this situation. But, have you ever been in a situation where, some of your biggest enemies have been, like, close family members?
Yeah. I'll make it real quick. I'd probably say, yeah, I'd probably say, I've had, especially within the last few years, a little bit of turmoil with one of my brothers, with
Mhm,
him and me just living different lives with him. He was married and whatnot, me not being married, and then him wanting to, I guess, like try to dictate other people's lives, like, oh, you need to be doing this and that. And it's like
mhm,
you tell people not to worry about your own life, but then you worry about what other people are doing in their life and
mhm,
whatnot, whatever. And one of the things I was working on for the last couple of years of my life was just being happy and being satisfied with what I got going on. And I felt like for a while I definitely obtained that. But with my brother, I think with him, he had other stuff going on personally in his life where he wasn't happy and maybe he would lash out at other people. And it's
mhm,
one of those things where I'm like, oh, I don't look at you as an enemy, but sometimes I would feel like, yo, like, does he have an issue with me? Because like
mhm,
I mind my business, I stay out the way, you know what I mean? And then like he's always angry about something. My brother would you like for last year or two, like he was always angry about something. And it wouldn't just be me. He could lash out at my brother, my other brother, my dad, and I'm like, dude, like there's just something going on. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I still love him, still care about him. Never want to just be like, yeah, forget you too. You know what I mean? Especially how things ended. But I definitely felt like that within the last like year or two, where I'm like, bro, like you obviously you're my brother, but you don't feel like my brother the way you're acting sometimes. Because some days he's cool, some days he's not. With certain friends, I think it's also about getting older and maybe certain people. I don't want to say they didn't reach their potential, but things just not turning out the way they wanted to.
mhm,
And trust me, I've had my own moments like that. But it's like, okay, well, I want more or I need more, so I'm going to go out and get it. I'm not going to blame anybody else. Like we're all adults now. We're grown adults now to the point where it's like, look, I gotta yeah, I start grinding more. I gotta start, paying attention more, and I gotta make less mistakes. If I don't got it, then I don't got it. But I'm not gonna lash out at you. Like I'm not gonna take it out on anyone else. You
mhm.
know. So, but I've definitely felt like that. I've had some instances. What about you?
Yeah, I think you learn as you get older that I think what happens as we're growing up, we're like, "Oh, respect your family, respect your elder. You only get one family, da da da," and that's cool, and I understand that portion of it. Um, but I also know that you should also have your own type of like boundaries and your own type of you gotta. There's a cutoff point. Like respect is a thing that's for both people, right? So
Right.
there are often times where family members overstep boundaries or overstep lines, and excuse me, don't respect you in the way that you do them. And so that does definitely create a divide. And whether that's, just because they're unhappy or they actually legitimately dislike you, doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that, you don't have to not love them anymore. But like the distance can definitely be a thing. And you kind of want to, or sometimes you just want to address it, right? So yeah, I think that whole keep your friends closer and your enemies closer is like a real thing. I know a lot of people use that for different type of situations, but some of your biggest haters are people that you know and you talk to every day. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of I hope it's superficial. Now I gotta figure out if that's the song because now I'm mad about it. Um, but in that song, that's what I got. It's like family. You don't want to be enemies with your family. You don't want to be enemies with your friends, but sometimes it's just an inevitable fact that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think what happens with that is because and we all fall victim to it because we talk about social media, right? Because we all post what we post on social media. So many people, they're like, oh, well, this person, they're living the good life. They're living this and that. It's like, that's only because I'm showing you the good parts of my life. I have my
Mhm.
negative points, but do you really want to see that? Like that's kind of depressing. Like who wants to, see my faults and my falls, my fails. And then you're going to have someone say, I want to see that. It's like, that's not good. Why would you want to see that? Like
Yeah.
I can tell you about, my issues and whatnot, but I think the most important thing is not when I fall down, it's when I come back from it. I think that if
Mhm.
anything, that's more inspiring. There's not people like that. There's certain people, they don't want to get better. They don't want to get better. They don't want to improve. They just want to see everyone go down the same path they're going down and maybe
Mhm.
further. So that I think that's the biggest issue there. And like you said, some of these people you have to cut them off because they're a cancer, and other people you can't cut them off, but you have to love them from a distance.
Yeah. Well, man, we listened to Winter Rush and Winter Rush 2 here in the great old 2024. Um, Now we want to know what you got, man. What are you rating these two tapes? And any pros, cons, or anything you want to do as far as your review? The floor is yours, man.
All right. So for Winter Rush 1, a great re-listen. I couldn't really remember what I heard from it before, but now like some songs kind of came back. So I'm like, okay, I kind of remember listening to this a little bit. So a good refresher, especially with uh what was the first song? What was the song we talked about? Paranoid Schizophrenia. Sorry.
Mhm.
So once I heard that, I'm like, oh, so that's the song I heard from this that was the big song that everyone talked about.
Mhm.
For me, I'll say for the first tape, I'll give it one of the ratings you came up with, I believe is the Tails rating,
Mhm.
where there's certain songs where you'll listen to it and you're like, oh man, this is some sleeper hits, some undiscovered gems, if you didn't know. So
Mhm.
especially us listening back to it, I'm like, yeah, really good tape, undiscovered gems or re-listen gems and whatnot that you refined. So really nice. Um my first time listening to Winter Rush 2, never
Mhm.
heard it before. I would say I'm gonna give it the same rating because there's certain songs on there that I do like that
Mhm.
like I never would have discovered if we didn't do this, podcast. I probably would have never checked it out. So on both tapes, really, really nice tapes. They got some gems on there that if you didn't check them out, you need to. Tails rating for both.
Okay. Nice. Um, Winter Rush is I know I did a top project list at one point. I forgot what year I did it, but I would say this is probably one of my favorite tapes that I've discovered so far doing this podcast. Um, I'm surprised. I'm shocked at how much I really like this because, like, again, I didn't know where to set the expectations to. Um, but I legitimately like every song here. There's not a bad song or a song that I'm like, oh, I'm not listening to this ever again type of situation. Um, yeah, this is a solid Sonic bass for me. This is a solid bass Sonic take for me. I like everything. There's some really good songs over here. Not a Surf, Paranoid Schizophrenia, and White and Matil, just really good songs added to my playlist because I just really like those. A lot of good hooks on here. So yeah, bass Sonic for that. Winter Rush 2. That one I'm gonna go with the Tails rating because I do think that, while it may not be to the level of the first Winter Rush, there is some songs on here that are sneaky good. If you've never listened to this tape or you've never heard of this tape, there's some stuff here in the background where you're like, oh wow, this is really good. Especially if you're a fan of this era or you're just a fan of Charles in particular. There's stuff on here for you that, is really good, and I think that you should definitely give it a listen because I think you'll find yourself being surprised at some of the songs you like for sure.
Definitely, I agree with that. That's nice. That's nice right there, man.
But what do you guys think, man? Winter Rush and Winter Rush 2. I want Winter to go away, but I want you to listen to Winter Rush, both Winter Rushes, and let us know what you think in the comments. Be sure to follow us on you, or actually subscribe to the YouTube. We keep growing. Pause. Um, Subscribers, man. We're killing it actually. Without like very organically too. We're not like, we're not like fishing for like I mean, we ask after every episode, but we're not on like the time I asking. And we still get plenty of subscribers, man. So if you have subscribed, be sure to subscribe to Star Chaser Central. You can also follow us on TikTok, starCHasers Central, and on X at starCH Central. You can also follow us on our individual pages. I'm on Instagram and X at StikAround54. That's STIK around 54. Mike, where can they find you, buddy?
Instagram, the Mike Jackson, Mike Jackson. Twitter,
Mhm.
Mike D Jackson, Mike D Jackson, 1D, 2 E's.
Again, let us know what you want us to review next. I've seen a lot of different suggestions, man. A lot of different suggestions. Some where I was like, this is kind of surprising, and some where I'm like, it's coming. We actually recorded that episode and it's in the pipeline. Um, but yeah, let us know what you want us to review. February is next month. I'm gonna let you know right now that we are going to create a romantic Charles Hamilton playlist. Just like we did the Charles Hamilton Essentials, we're gonna do that for you guys. So if you have any suggestions, please put them out there. I'm sure some of your suggestions will also be some of our suggestions, but just throw them out there just in case we need some little help. Um, but yeah, I've got nothing else. I don't think you got anything. What do you want to say to the people before we head out, man?
Well, since you brought up Valentine's Day, February, and whatnot, love's going to be in the air. So make sure y'all love each other, care about each other. And if you believe in Single Awareness Day, fuck bitches, get money.
What the fuck is Single Awareness Day?
Apparently, that's what I don't do it. I mean, I'm single, but that's what people apparently do when they like feel bad about being single. It's like, oh, guess what? It's our little holiday. Like, stop being weird. Stop being weird. Just like you're single on Valentine's Day. It's the equivalent of, New Year's Eve. And people like, oh, I guess I'm not getting a kiss on New Year's Eve or Christmas, where it's like, oh, I'm under the mistletoe and no one wants to kiss me. Oh, it's been 27 years and I haven't gotten a kiss. Shut up. Shut up. That's what it is. People being weird. That's what it is.
People are losers, man. God, that is loser.
like like
Um,
like real
yeah,
quick,
Single
real
Awareness Day. Yeah.
real quick. Because here, full discrepancy, right? For let's say like New Year's, I've never gotten a kiss on New Year's, like New Year's Eve when the ball drops and whatnot, whatever. Never gotten one. I've gotten kisses plenty of times any other time, but like for you to be like, I've never gotten it at this specific time, it's like, so what? Now, if you've never gotten a kiss before ever, okay, you mean you need some help with that. But we're talking about at a specific time, specific. Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Or I've been in relationships around a lot of times. Usually February doesn't happen, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean, oh, everything else doesn't matter. Like, bro, like, or sis, who cares? Doesn't matter. Relax.
Well, never mind.
All right.
This holiday isn't for us. But you go to a girl house without a Valentine's Day gift. I'm gonna let you know right now that's in y'all relationship immediately. But that's for another day. We are logging out of the Star Chaser Essential, man, where we always encourage you to follow your dreams.
And reach for the stars.
Single Awareness Day, huh? Jesus.
Yes, sir.